Hello, welcome to the Cables, Lace, and Tails podcast. My name is Sue, and I'm a maker from Northwestern Wisconsin. Hello, and thank you so much for subscribing and liking my videos. I truly appreciate it. And I do not have any finished objects at all this week. I do have quite a few things in the works, but I thought I would spend a little bit of time discussing my knitting grandma, my paternal grandmother. I have thought about this a lot because my cat is right here. She's looking for treats, which are all on the floor. Tallulah, they're on the floor. Go. Thank you. Anyway, so when I was 9, I mentioned this before in my crochet video, I wanted to learn everything. I knew instinctually that I needed to know all there was to everything. I needed to know how to knit and sew and crochet. I needed to know how to embroider. I needed to know how to cook and bake and clean, and I needed to know how to hunt and butcher, and I just wanted to know everything. I don't know if it was growing up with Little House on the Prairie every Sunday evening, or if it was just something inside me. So when I was 10, I learned how to crochet. And around that same time, I asked both grandmas to teach me because one crocheted and one knitted. And I asked my grandma, my knitting grandma, to teach me how to knit. And this is where I'm going to really give the very basic of the story. I said to my grandma, "Could you teach me how to knit?" She was so honored and she was so happy, and the light on her face is something I will never forget. However, she was not allowed to teach me. And that's all I'm going to say about it because it hurt both of us. I sat next to her while she knitted. That's what I was looking for here. She knitted this. I found it recently, like within the last year. She knitted, I'll get it out of this cardigan for my dad and all of the boys in the family. Can you please stop licking your butt, please? Nellie, 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 stop licking your butt. I'm on camera, okay? You're so good. Lay down. Lay down. Can you lay down? Can you lay down? Thank you. Just relax. I'm sorry if you heard her. It was driving me insane. So she was knitting all of these cardigans. I'll take it out of the thing here. And she, there we go. It's from Mary Maxim. It's just my dad was a pheasant hunter, and this is the exact one that he has. When I saw this, it was like super on sale, and I bought a copy because I wanted to have my own copy. When I was young, watching her knit these, it just was amazing. I truly fell in love with fiber crafts at that time. Wasn't allowed to do it, but I loved it anyway. So I would sit next to her very stealthily, and I would watch her knit. And she would like try to shoo me away because she wasn't supposed to teach me. And I said, "I'm just sitting here." So there was a few things. How can I put this? Fast forward a couple years. I was 12 years old and she knit every one of my cousins. I'm the oldest of 14, and she knit all of them, like sweaters, or my sister got sweaters and leg warmers, and they were so cute, but she didn't make me anything. She made us all stockings, which I'll show soon. But she didn't make me any clothes because in her mind, I was growing too much and that I wouldn't be able to wear it long enough. If it was me, I would just make a small woman's, and then she could, my daughter, say, would grow into it, which I have done. I'm sorry, my dog can't stop licking herself. Oh, Nellie, stop. So anyway, she made all of us stockings. This is mine. I loved it. She didn't get a chance to put the little loop to hang it, but I've never hung it. I have held on to this since I was 12. I've studied the stitches. I always thought, oh, I would love it if I could find that pattern. Well, lo and behold, I did. And I bought it the same time as I bought that sweater. And so Mary Maxim has like vintage patterns. So there's mine. I don't have my name on it, but that's okay. There it is. I held on to wanting to knit. So say I was 10 and I wasn't allowed. And when I got older, I still wanted to, and I would look at my knitted sweaters and I would say to myself, one day I'm going to be able to do this. I don't know when or how, but one day I will. Okay, you're going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Just relax, okay? I do have her here for a reason. She's a notorious compulsive licker, and I'm trying to calm her down. So, anyway, I only got the stocking from her, and you know, I was really sad. She did buy me that Christmas when I was 12 a lot of clothes. And that, I mean, I looked really cute, and I was very thankful that she bought me those clothes. She loved Christmas. She loved showing her love through Christmas presents, and she loved sitting there and watching us open up Christmas presents. I miss her dearly. She did make me this when I was really little. It's a chicken. It's very old. I mean, I probably got this when I was a baby. It has a little bit of a beak still. And the comb is felt, and it's kind of, you know, I think it's felt. I don't know. It's very old, but I love the pom-pom, and it's a nesting chicken. So there is another little baby chicken. Do you see how cute? Oh, I used to stare at this for hours. And then there's another baby chicken that looks kind of like a weird toe. But I loved it. I loved it so much. Nellie, if you want to get down, you can get down. It's okay. So, I have started and never finished. Isn't that the case? I started making my own nesting chicken. I kind of followed exactly what she did, and I have the actual chicken done, the big one. And then I thought it was felt, or I remembered it being felt, and I just didn't know how to put it in there. It feels like it's glue. And so I know this is felt. So I didn't have felt at the time. I did have bought felt since, but it just kind of gets put off to the side. And I have this in a box, safely kept, because with each stitch she made this, it's her love. And even though I may not have a sweater or anything like that from her, I do have this. I found the patterns because I swore at that time in my life that I wanted to learn. She couldn't teach me that. Somehow I would find the pattern, did. Somehow I would learn how to knit, did. I taught myself at the age of 45, and from YouTube. So I wish I could tell you more, but every time I think about it, I get really depressed. And I don't want to do that. So anyway, now I have been working steadily. I've been working steadily on my Foyka sweater. I did look at my Google Translate on my phone, and I put it in. It is Swedish, and Foyka is how it's said. This is my Foyka sweater. I have attached the arms, and I learned something really valuable with this. I made a huge mistake in matching the pattern. So I did what it said, and it has very limited instructions. I'm going to put that down. It has very limited instructions. It has one page, and it stated that you should have for my size, 234 stitches. I do. It stated to place the middle part of the underarm sleeve on scrap yarn, or try it on tubing. I did. I measured the body on that. I did the front, the back. I right in the center. I did that, but the pattern didn't match up. Like, you couldn't just continually knit in pattern, because on one side, I don't remember which side, on one side I had 4 stitches between stitch number 4, and I had 3 stitches on the other side. Stitch number 4 is very important for this pattern, because that is the beginning of the round. I'm going to show you where I am right now. I have an arrow with 4, and then I decided to put 4 in different places all the way up, because stitch 4 is going to be consistent throughout. And so, so I always know where I am by going on stitch 4. I thought it'd be harder than it is. Nellie, can you please stop licking? Thank you. I thought I would know. I thought it would be difficult. Okay. I thought it would be really hard to figure this out, because I'm so used to just going straight on one around. It is a 6 stitch repeat. So I figured out that I would have to pay attention to the pattern. As long as I kept stitch 4 the same throughout, I could finagle right at the underarms. Hopefully it won't be too big of a deal as it gets up the sweater. So far, so good. I was a little panicked. I realized my mistake, and I put it in the timeout corner for the night. And the next day I was like, I just have to start doing this to see if it'll work. I don't know. So, I mean, it's in the, you can see my marker. Where is it? Right there. And you can kind of see that it's really close in that area, but it's similar enough. That's what I'm going for. It's similar enough that it's different but similar. And maybe that is just what you have to do with this pattern. I don't know. It's a very limited instructions. And then on the other side, it is similar enough, I hope. I'm looking at it myself in the camera screen. I'm hoping so. It's working. Now, when I first started talking about this last week and how I would put everything together, and I would use a 60-inch cord, I did use a 60-inch interchangeable cord. I am using size 10.5. I think they're aluminum Zing needles by Knitter's Pride. They're fine. They're kind of blunt, but they're a smooth blunt, and I'll discuss something about that later. And then I had done about 5 rounds and struggled and struggled and struggled with the, I'm going to show you the whole, with the 60-inch cord, because this isn't 60 inches. This is 48 and some, I don't know, 48.5 or something, like 48 3/4. This is approximately 48 inches around. So after struggling for 5 rounds, I thought, what am I doing? You have other cords. So I switched out for 47. Now the way I switch out, which probably other people do as well, is just something I find easy is that I take I'm going to take that off. I take the needle that I knit with and take it and put it on the other cord, use an end cap so the stitches don't fall off, and then I put an end cap on the one that I'm working with presently so I can knit onto the new one and nothing falls off. And then once I'm all the way through, I put the new needle, or I don't know what you would call it. I put the other needle onto the new cable and take off the end caps, put everything away. Because I have cats, I realized just this morning that one of them, probably Tallulah, because she likes to chew on cords, has chewed on my phone cord. A little tiny... So, it's coming along. I really would like to get this done before it gets too hot, because it's already starting to become quite warm on top of me. It is going to be a lovely outer piece. Will I be able to wear it? No. I'll have to wait till next winter or late fall, whenever it's nice and chilly. Maybe, oops, oh no, I got touched. Maybe, it depends. Every year is a little different. Sometimes it's actually really cold in September. Sometimes it waits till November. So when it's cold enough for me to wear it on a walk or whatever, I will do that. Let's see, do I have anything? I am just matching the pattern as I go. We will see how it turns out. I am trusting the process. That's a good way of saying it. I'm trusting the process that everything will be just fine. I feel like one of those memes where like everything is just fine and the world is burning behind her. Yeah. So I'm only on round 8, and you have, and then you start doing her decreases, which is just a knit 2 together, which I really like. I like the knit 2 together. It's simple, it's plain, voila. So yeah, I am working with that. It is coming along. I am quite happy that it's really coming along quite quickly. Now I gotta get something real quick. It fell, and I want to show the black socks. There's not much to show, except I'm going to show you 2 different things. I mean, it's a simple sock. I'm on the cuff. This is 4.5 inches, and it is a 3x1 rib. It's my favorite vanilla sock pattern that I use. The book by Ann Budd, and it's a spreadsheet book, so you can use any kind of yarn, any kind of thickness. I like it a lot. I only use her pattern now. Now, obviously you can see there's a difference between size, but there's also a difference in needle color. That means I am ready to continue on for the rest of the foot with this one, because it is 4.5 inches. This one is probably about 2 inches. Obviously I just worked on one, and now I'm putting this one off to the side. Boom. And now I am working on this one, get this to 4.5 inches, change out the needles to the size 2, US 2, and then, then I was confused. I am going to cast on a pair of socks for myself. I'm making myself get to the same length first because I don't want to lose momentum. But I was so happy. I realized this yesterday morning. I have been just like, well, I only have, 15 minutes before I have to get ready for work. And I work on either this or my Dolce. And if it's a cloudy morning and there's not much light, I work on my Dolce. If it's nice and sunny and bright in the house, I work on the socks, and it's been working out wonderfully. So, but after I get done with that, I am going to use, sorry for the wrinkles. Before Joann's was even closing, I picked up this color. It is called Midnight Orchid, Patons Kroy. And I mean, I just can't wait. I am so looking forward to it. They're going to be a beautifully striped sock. It's so beautiful. I am looking forward to it. So I have it. I'm like, all right, you already have your plastic bag. We're going to put you in the bin with all the others to encourage me to continue to finish things. So that is that. Now, I'm sorry, can you hear my dog itching herself? She is a hairy. Now, I mentioned last week, quite a bit, that my Leisure Arts lace cardigan that I'm knitting had that big wonky side. I got some advice on how to take care of it, and I haven't done anything yet. It's still in the timeout zone. It's still in the timeout zone, but I'm going to just show you what I mean. Okay. Wait. Nellie, can you please stop licking? Now, this side, which is the wrong side of the fabric, here we go this way. This side, you can see it's you know, it's pretty good. It's pretty straight. But this side, it's like a ski hill. Whoosh. So, I'm going to wet block it first. I'm going to do it to the measurements of the pattern. And I believe it's 24 and a half, 24 and a quarter. So I'm going to wet block it, pin it out to the measurements, and see where we go from there. Otherwise, there are things I probably could do, like, you know, tacking it down or, you know, fudging it somehow. I was looking at the pattern. I mean, I read the pattern all the way through, but, you know, sometimes you forget. And you do a crochet edge on the bottom. So if I could do two together, you know, and kind of cinch it together, you know, like when you get down to a certain end, you just, you know, make it condensed. So there's that option as well. But I'm just going to put it off in the timeout corner for now. Finish the front pieces, finish the sleeves, and then that's when I'll probably block it. So I probably won't bring that out again. One of my original Ziplocs is kind of losing its life, but it still closes and it's cotton, and I keep things. I don't want moss because that would be awful. So now I have been working steadily on this. Let's see. When I last showed you last week, I was way down here. Can you see the little green? And, you know, I never can see it when I'm doing this, but I'm just going to put it right here. See, there's the green. So I only had maybe a half an inch to an inch done. And I have done all of this. It is very straight. So I really don't know what I did with the other one. It's a talking point. Is it? Because it feels like a massive failure. Oh, failure is the best lesson anyone can learn from. Do you think so? Do you think failure is the best lesson to learn from? I don't know. You can't always have one success after another. I am using my Knitters, what do we call them? Knit Picks 4 square laminated birch needles. I really like it. I'm using the Big Twist Violet Splash Cotton Poly. I did not say, with my, I'm going to back up just a little bit. With the Foyka, I'm using Ala Faslopi yarn. I will talk about that more at a different time. So I am doing a repeat. It's an 8-row 10-stitch repeat. And it repeats on the back, the fronts, and the sleeves. And I believe at the very end, the button band, because I was reading that and it's kind of funky. So that is coming along. It is something I like to do. I'm finding the front even more fun than the back, because I would sit down, like I always eat. When I get done with like a meal and I say to myself, okay, now you have a half hour minimum. I have sat for an hour, hour and a half. If it's an hour and a half, I'm really getting tired of sitting. But I will sit down and work on my knitting and watch some program or listen to a book or whatever. And that gives me time throughout the day to work on my stuff and kind of bring me back to center. And I really, really enjoy these smaller sizes right now on the fronts, because I feel like I can get faster because it's smaller. Duh. All right. I'm being ridiculous. Okay. The next thing, which is coming along really well. I haven't worked on it for the last couple days, but it's been calling my name because I love working on it. Now, the line of white is denoting where the arm will start, because it's a drop shoulder V-neck cardigan that I'm using the pattern from the Ann Buds Handy, Handy Book of Sweater Patterns. I've shown this book quite often. You can look back at my videos if you choose. It's a spreadsheet book. This is a size 44 back. Might be too big. I've been rethinking this a lot. I am not undoing it, but I'm attached. I am using Berroco Dulce, which is hold on. Nellie, you're driving me crazy. Please stop licking. I love you so much. You are so beautiful. You are beautiful. Yes, I know. She loves to lick. Okay, where was I? Berroco Dulce is it's a braided core of cotton, nylon, and wool, and then brushed alpaca is around it. I'm using the color Jade. Nellie, you're driving me crazy. That's all I hear. Please stop. I'm sorry. She's driving me nuts. Because all I hear is the licking. I'm like, is this even going to be a good video? I'm like even thinking about, if I got a half hour into it and I'm thinking, well, maybe I should just start over. No, I don't want to really, because I don't have that much time to just do. I'm using size 7, what are they called? Radiance? It's the Knit Picks stainless steel hollow needle. I really like these. They're pointy, but they're smooth. It's really nice. I do find my stitches slip a little bit on like the first couple few, but if I just pay attention, it's no big deal. Probably wouldn't happen on like a wood or bamboo needle as much, but I would really wanted the glidiness because of the fabric is so smooth and so fuzzy and just lovely. So I'm making a drop shoulder V-neck cardigan. With the Ann Bud books, you can choose different sizes. I make them the same length So I'm keeping track of how long each piece will be. And then my original thought was I'll make the back 44 because I wanted it to be, you know, kind of oversized. But as I've been making this, I've been realizing that it might be too oversized. If I make the fronts 42, it just might be too big. And I'm just going to show you something. This is my Emery's cardigan. And it fit really nice before I blocked it. And so I thought I was doing the right thing. I made it size 51. I think it was the 5th size. And I'm not that big. You know, I did look at like the, you know, have 10 inches positive ease kind of thing or whatever. I have to roll up the cuffs so, you know, my shoulder should be here, right? But it's way up here. It should be like sitting on my shoulder, right? I used Lion Brand's Fisherman's wool in the color oatmeal. Now, I did want this to be big because I wanted to wear sweaters underneath it and then wear it at school. I have been wearing it at school underneath my transitional coat that I wear, and it's keeping me super nice and warm. At my school, we have 2 playgrounds. It's in a L shape, so depending on which way the wind is blowing, it can be really cold. It's like a windswept prairie because we have many, I don't know how many, but many soccer fields behind the school, and there's no trees of any significance. You know, you need quite a wind block for stuff to happen, and it can be really cold. And then having this on under my jacket, it's been really nice. It is too big though. It makes me kind of look a little comical. I'm kind of bummed about it. I thought like maybe I should. I'm not going to change it because wearing it underneath my coats is really nice. And I do plan on like wearing it over sweaters. So I don't want it to be so tight that it would. So, but this, I am not wearing over sweaters. I'm wearing this over, say, a t-shirt or, you know, a nice blouse or something like that. So I thought, well, you're going to be making this too big, like you always do. You're not that big. I do have issues with tightness. You know, I always check things to make sure it's not too tight or bunchy or choky or stuff like that. So I thought, well, I'll just make the fronts 42. And then I really thought, just this past week, that might be too big as well. I was looking at the schematics in my book, so I have thought, well, what if I'm making the sleeves size 40 because my arms are short, and that size 40 is a good size for my sleeve. I made size 40 on other patterns and I really like it. So I'm going to make the front size 40. So I'm using the stitch count of size 40 for the fronts and the sleeves, and the stitch count for the back in size 44. And then I will seam it all up together. In fact, I'm going to just make a note because I'm going to do that. Because then it's not going to be too big. I'm adding a button band. So there's going to be, you know, like an inch more on each side. So I hope that works. I feel like I'm flying blind on a lot of things right now. Like what are you doing? I don't know. I hope it works. Oh, anyway. It feels like my cat's belly. It is super soft. It is glorious to work with. I really enjoy it. It is a discontinued yarn. I'm using, did I say US size 7 or 5.5 millimeter? I did do about 1.5 inch cuff hem. I'm going to do the same as the cuff, the hem, and the neckline and button band. I'm probably going to do a 1x1 rib just to give it a little bit of a textural difference. I thought about doing a double knit band. Still debating on that. Have never done it. I would like to. Would it be hard? I don't know. But this is just a 1x1 rib, which is, you know, it's a simple rib. So I think I used size 5 for the ribbing. I went down a size, maybe size 6. I did write it down, and I'm not going to look at my notes for that at this present moment in time. Oh, now she's snoring. Scratching, licking, 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 scratching, licking, 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 snoring. I'm glad she's snoring. Now, I did almost forget to talk about this. This is my vegetable patch sweater. I made about a close inch and a couple inches, maybe 1.75 inches of my vegetable patch sweater. I'm losing the light. It is dark. We've had thunderstorms this afternoon. We need the rain. We need the rain so very badly. So it's a simple cable. There we go. The fun thing about this pattern is that you use the same needle throughout, which I've never done before, like with a pattern. I mean, I've done stuff and used the same needle throughout and didn't know you could or couldn't at that moment in time. But I am using a US size 6 or 4mm in the zings. It has a nice, smooth, blunted top. That's going to come in handy in the next one. Now, there's not much really to say. I do have to have all the lights on in the living room and use my neck light, which I have to be careful on using because it triggers my whiplash injury. And I thought about getting another light to like sit over here by the cat statue and like focus down like this, and so I could see better. But that will come at some other time because right now I'm not going to buy it because I can make things work as they are. I really like this yarn. It is Shire Heather from Knit Picks. It is wool of the Andes. You can see the blues and the browns and the golds and the greens. And it is so pretty. It's their worsted weight. It's a very nice, affordable yarn as of right now. It is a Peruvian wool. I don't know if things are going to go up with all the tariffs. I don't know. But I do like the company quite a bit. They're very nice. They're very helpful. I have bought quite a bit of yarn from them in the past. I am looking into becoming an affiliate member with them. It's just weird. They go with the company Awin. I think that's how you say it. And I'm just getting tripped up on like, am I an agency? Am I an advertiser? Am I a publisher? I don't know where I go in the realm of that. I think in some ways I'd be an advertiser, but I'm not sure. So I'm just waiting to hear back from someone that knows a little bit about it, and voila. So I really do like this. It is a beautiful sweater. It is made, the pattern is by Annie Howard. It comes from this book, the Homestead Cables book. I'll show a picture of the back here. That's what it looks like. I am making this 4 size, I believe. Yeah, I'm making the 4 size. A 48-inch bust, which will give me 6 inches of positive ease because it requests that you it to be worn with 5 to 10 inches of positive ease. And I'm not going to 10 inches of positive ease anymore because that just looks way too big. Way too big. Because the Emery's cardigan, I'm going to show you this picture of the model. Do you see how nice it looks on her? It kind of sits nice on the shoulders. I did not use the same yarn that they requested in that pattern. I am using the same yarn that they requested in the vegetable patch. However, they used a tweed, and I'm not using a tweed. Let's see. Let's get those. There we go. No shiny. I mean, it will be really pretty. There is a new, for me, a new way of doing pockets, but everything's done in pieces. So I'm just focusing on the back. I feel like sometimes patterns get so overwhelming and you're trying to do so much. So I just kind of compartmentalize and just say, you know what? Focus on the back. Get that done. Set it off to the side. It's fine. It'll be fine. Work on the front or the sleeve or whatever, and it'll be fine. And then you will figure it out. Sometimes I have to read the pattern like, 10 times and kind of like see it in my mind's eye. Oh, yeah, that will be okay. That won't be okay, etc., etc. Now, a long time ago, aka last fall, I was in a hurry and I was working on my, oh God, what is it called? I call it my Christmas sweater. My first circular yoke with the color work. It is green and cream on top and red on the bottom. It's driving me crazy. I can't think of the name. Well, anyway, I decided to not pay attention. I was in a rush. I left one of my needles sitting out like this, out of a bag. This bag is on the floor. It's attached to the wheel. Like, kind of sitting out of the bag. Just, not a lot. It should be fine. Well, I came home and the cats had ate my needle and I was really upset. Like, more at me than them. I mean, they're cats. They love my yarn. They love my needles. They love cords. They love to eat, scratch, bite, play with, whatever. They're kittens. So I was like, oh, I have the one that I want to show you over there. But I had it on 7s. Now this is a size 5, but it's the same kind of needle. It's a zing. It's the blunted tip. I really like them. And so I finished the sweater and I just said, I can't use these. They're going to snag yarn. The sound really bothered me. Just like the, it's just like this high pitched scratching. And I'm like, oh, so annoying. So I did buy a singular package of 7 zings. I looked at them. I looked with the light shining on them. I looked in the window so I could see, are there any nicks? Are there any scratches? They were a little sharper up top, and I thought, that'll be fine. It's no big deal. I know what I'm doing. These are not that sharp. And so I kept them, put them away. I did end up trying to buy 2 more of these kits around that same time, because I said to myself, well, you use 7 so much and you like these, why don't you just get another set of these things, and then you'll have 3 sets of 7s. You know, this is the 7 size. They come in different colors. This is where you join them. And when I got those, I got the first set, and there was some really damaged needles throughout the kit. And I thought, well, I don't want this. So I returned it. It was from Amazon. And then I really still wanted this having another set. So I bought another one, and they were even worse. So I sent those back. And I kept the singular 7s. Well, I had forgotten where I put my 7s. And I thought, well, I have another set. I'll just use those. That pair, which is in a bin, just out of camera sight, they're so sharp. And I'm going to hold this up like, let's see. I'm trying to be as still as possible. This has more of a rounded tip, okay? And they kind of just glide, okay? When you put it over your finger, you can feel a little something, but it generally just glides right over. The other one that I got that's over there in size 7, it feels like it's it's like really flat and sharp on the edges. And every time I'm using it, it makes that high-pitched, scratchy sound, and it's driving me crazy. And I thought to myself, I will never want to knit this sweater if I use these. Now I'm stuck with them. And I thought, well, maybe I could just use them with like something else. I don't know. Maybe they'll be fine if I use them a little bit. But in realizing this stuff, I realized the sweater I'm making, you have to do it in size 5 for the ribbing. So I took it all apart and I started casting on. I don't know if I have the right amount of stitches. I did this right before work and I have to recount because the first time I counted, I thought I had 4 too many. And then the next time I counted, I had like 10 too many. So I have to recount again and make sure it is accurate before I move on. But I am making the Patons. The Patons, I'm just going to call it Patons Cable because it doesn't have a name. I got this from Etsy. It was on sale at the time I bought it. It's just that classic 1980s oversized cable sweater. And I'm using Lion Brand's Wool Ease, which is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. I have plenty of yarn. And this sweater, it says to fit bust of, let me just hold it down. So I'm doing the size 38-40 because the finished bust is size 48. So I'm doing that. I will tell you how it goes. I have made a gauge swatch out of the 2 pattern pieces. Let's see. Yeah. So that's one pattern and that's the other. And there's a stocking net stitch. And I'm pretty close to gauge. I am not accurate to gauge, but I figure with the size 48, it'll all work out. And it is quite stretchy. So it was a fun gauge swatch. I really enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed that one. And then this one was really quick. So I like that. I like the quickness of this. So now I have been thinking, do you need more needles? Or do you have enough needles? Can you just use the needles you have? Of course. But I really do like those Radiance stainless steel ones. I just like the way they glide. I did like my Zings a lot, but I have noticed that on some of the ones that I have used, they're getting little pock marks in them. And then that can snag delicate yarns and not make them so nice. So, I don't know. Maybe there will be new needles in the future. Maybe there won't be. So, let's see. Okay. I think I have talked about everything I was making. Now, I just got to tell you about the thing that happened at school today. We had our annual um, student talent show, and the teachers, some of the teachers even did some talent. Like one juggled, another one did a rap, and then a whole group of teachers did a synchronized swimming thing. It was so adorable. They held up a blue tarp to denote water. It was so cute. We laughed, we clapped. It was so fun, and seeing the kids from kindergarten to fifth grade get up in front of an audience and do their best, whatever it is. Is it gymnastics, dancing, singing? Someone did magic tricks. One fifth grader who, man, he should be famous. He is so talented at the yo-yo tricks. I mean, just amazing. It was just so much fun. So like the last hour and a half of school, we all just were in the gym and enjoying all the acts that were put on, and it's just a lot of fun. And to see the kids smiling, I was watching them watch the teachers, and they were just like, oh, like, they're funny. And I said to a couple of my coworkers, you work in a really nice place when the teachers all get together and put on an act for the students. It was so cute, so funny, and it was just really, really nice. So on that note, I'm going to just say thank you again for subscribing. Thank you again for liking my videos. I really appreciate it. If you have any ideas or suggestions of what you would like to see, I am more than willing to, go into that. Whatever, like a friend of mine has mentioned that talking about the different fibers. I do have a book, and maybe that'll be a video sometime. I would like to be more into editing mode at that point in time. That's kind of one of the reasons why I haven't done it yet, because I would like to see, like, blah. I do plan on learning to edit at some time. Presently, I'm just doing the best I can. And there has been no editing done on any of these videos, so either it's a good thing or it's not a good thing. Anyway, thank you again for stopping by. Take care and have fun. Bye for now.